Salam alaikum, marhaba. I'm Philip Metris. I'm talking to you from Cleveland, Ohio. I'm so sorry I couldn't be there with you in person, breathing the same air, eating the same food, talking and listening to you and watching your face as you read and as you listen to each other. I wish I could be there, but my heart is with you. I'm going to read some poems from a collection called A Concordance of Leaves of mine. It's all one long poem based on the wedding of my sister to a man from Tura in 2003. And that was my first and only time to Palestine. And it moved me so much that many years later I've finally been able to find words to capture what it meant to see a village celebrate the love of two people from opposite sides of the world. So, a few poems from A Concordance of Leaves. On drying racks, tobacco leaves swim. Wind turns the pages of the book we can only read in the rough translation of my soon-to-be brother-in-law. And this is the brother of my soon-to-be brother-in-law, inhaling through the straw of his cigarette, holds it between ring and middle fingers. The unseen and inaccessible sea caresses our strange faces. Blind, and we wait for our lines to be read. And this is the cemetery where the father of his father's 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 buried. Bodies marked by broken stone incisors. Among neighbors we sip sage tea, Mamilla, named after the Mother of God, for sage slaked her desert tongue. And now a cousin comes, footfalls, white explosions of dust from the mouth of that abandoned quarry, its Jurassic cranes and rusted conveyors hauling nothing now. The last time you rose from the bed of this parched open, sister, its dried swells now hills and swales. Sister, you left your new love at Tel Aviv, his history holding him at passport control. He passed an olive tree necklace to you, saying, "A country is more important than one person." You'd carry it 10 years around your shoulders. And now this country draws you the way olive roots draw invisible water. Sister, soon you will be written alongside your future husband in the book of books. And though our father's passport held aloft will not stop the Sabra tank from blocking the road, you will find another way back, and soon new sisters will inscribe your body with henna, ink your feet, and open your hands. Of barbed wire I clear a line sharp enough to ribbon open the flesh and the road to the village, where Omar nests in his palm a bird whose wing is broken. He shushes and strokes it. We drink in visages of men, coffee with cardamom. All day nearby some machine puts and puts, as if trying to set the whole village to motion. It won't start or shudder to still, but something is happening, or will. And our family will ask so many questions, we will be called the Question Factory, and you, my future brother, will write your answers with my slowly disappearing hand. The Question Factory asks, what is a dunam? Answer, slowly disappearing land. The Question Factory asks, what is that line on your skull? Answer, a failed poem by one who tries to write over everything already written over. The Question Factory asks, why do you smile? Because I still have my teeth. Where are the doll's missing eyes? In the back of my mind, I believe. In what? I believe I hear a song. Why do you laugh? Because I still have my tongue. There is a song, and yet I hear no singing. Today, Elyun, my friend Sadiki, beautiful Halwa, tree Shajara, shame Haram. My name is Ismi. Listen, Isma. It means Yani. See, Bar. Here. Consider the olive. It gnarls as it grows into itself, A veritable thicket, it throws up obstacles to the light to reach the light. A crooked path in the air. While beneath our sight it wrestles the rock, wrests water from whatever trickles beneath. It doesn't worry it looks like hell, refuses to straighten for anyone. Each spring offers itself meat to be eaten, first brambles, then olives. For throwing a Molotov at a bus, Muhammad spent a month his head buried in burlap. Now he cradles his skull and tiptoes the hall, no doors on the frame, still nothing to hide. He sweeps all the noise from the house with bulky silence and hands tied in knots of not knowing what to do with suddenness. His wife and her kind eyes stay in the womb of her room. She's just given birth to Carmel, which means God's vineyard. Scarved sisters are radiant with wide mouths and waves and teeth and singing, and though there is the great unhappiness framed in silent, unsmiling faces, hammered on insides of houses, watching over all preparations, night is lifting, the women are drumming, the tabla, their voices inviting a heart to break itself and open, a space another could nest inside. Because there is word for love in this tongue that entwines two people as one, and there is a word for love in this tongue that nests in the chambers of the heart, and a word for love in this tongue that wanders the earth, for love in this tongue in which you lose yourself, in this tongue, and a word that carries sorrow within its vowels, and a word for love that exudes from your pores, and a word for love that shares its name with falling. Something larger than a wave hovers over and buoys us in its wake, large as the sun as it breaks into hills, as if coaxed by the singers to hold another's shoulder or hand off our hands to another, and sway our branches and stamp the dear earth so hard it feels we are lifting from its trembling chest. And though the wedding photos will be ruined when the pitiless enters the darkroom unbidden, and though the border guard will advise us this is a dangerous time to visit, and though we had to lie and say we were tourists and not guests at our sister's wedding, to spare ourselves the special interrogation on the borders of fear and Ben Gurion, and emerge blinking into the light of a modern Oz, beyond the wall, blooming with English lawns. The dancers in their purple-spangled parachute pants will turn wheels in the dust, until the dust is a violet fire, and though the checkpoints hunker in bunkers and Uzis with Uzis will raise them at our unwitting arrival and cause us to lower cameras and eyes, and though hawkers hawk songbirds at Calandia checkpoint, where garbage bags tumble free as emptied skulls in no man's land, and the lines of the people are mute with waiting, the Ataba singers will arrive in the village and name-check our families. Marhaba Metras, Marhaba, Marhaba Badi, Marhaba. And though some seaside cafe will split into thousands of shards of glassy dreams, and these people will have had nothing to do with it, and the bulldozers will doze their roads so that every road ends in a wall, every car will pick a path through olive groves, and though we won't see the sea, the wind will haul it, and the whole village will arrive at the village, until the village will be a living map of itself, actual size. And though there is a boy whose cheek is a scar and no father, his eyes like broken eggs, the children will flock to every flat roof to watch the village become the village, and see the wedding from enough distance it looks like a story that could be entered, and see the men pin paper money to the suit of the groom until he's feathered with future. And though everyone will eat and eat again some miracle of loaves and lambs, and though the bride's arms and legs will itch with arabesques and scripts of henna, a second skin won't be scratched away. And though her mother will be angry, the women and children will wait until all the men have been served, and even the bride plays a role she only learns on hennaed heels. And though tradition is an invisible author, only the old hands hear, and though the sun will be too bright for the bride to see much farther than her own eyes, and though the bullet in the groom will begin to hatch in his side, and the stitches in his skull will singe another verse in the book of dreams, and though the bride's questions will beak their shell years from now, now, let there be dancing, in circles. Let the village become flung arms, bringing bodies to bodies, and let heads nod and eyes widen, which we translate as meaning, accept this, fadl. Congratulations, mabruk. How much? Adish hada. I don't understand, ana mishfahem. Tomorrow, bukra, mishmish. Apricots. Tomorrow when the apricots ripen, bukra fil mishmish. Tomorrow never comes, bukra fil mishmish. Ready? Yalla? Let's go. Yalla. You, my sister, you, my brother, outside the walls in the wind, if Aristophanes was right, and we walk the world in search of a split infinitive of to love, if two outside the walls in the wind should find in each other more than mirror, then we should sing outside the walls in the wind, you, my sister, you, my brother, that tree and stone may answer outside the walls in the wind, and let our echo ring. Like strapping a small bomb to your third finger, that ring, about which we could not speak upon our arrival and departure from the country of memory where we left you, sister, among the fragile projectiles inside the book, whose pages the wind rifles, searching for a certain passage. Shukran. Thank you. Take care.